Hey friends, Kim from stampingimperfection.com. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure you subscribe while you're here and click that bell so you get notifications every time I upload a new video. So I have a different kind of video than I usually share. I've recently fallen in love with scrapbooking and traveler's notebooks and planners and all of that stuff. And I shared a couple of weeks ago that I had created that traveler's notebook from the Autumn Splendor 6x8 paper pad, and I loved it so much that I decided to get the Collector's Essentials kit and add a few things on and create a hybrid album. So I'm just flipping through the papers here so you can see I just fell in love. These colors call to me. I love the images. I think the papers are just beautiful. And I created the Traveler's Notebook because I've always wanted to do a fall gratitude journal, and I never had time to do it. So I decided to get this. Once I created that, I decided to get this because I have lots of fall photos from years past that I have not scrapbooked yet. So this is going to be perfect. So the Collector's Essentials kit came with those 12 sheets of 12 by 12 paper, and you can see they're double-sided. 4 of them are cut-aparts. They had the whole set of sticker sheets there, and there are 2 different collections. One is the Collector's Essentials kit, and the other one is the collection kit. The collection kit just has the 12 by 12 papers, the stickers, and the ephemera. The Collector's Essentials kit had just a little bit more. It had the papers, the stickers. It came with the chipboard pieces, which I really liked. I mean, those are quite spectacular, some of those. It came with the ephemera. And then I added on that 6x6 paper pad because I definitely want to add more papers than just what I'm going to get out of that 12 by 12. Then it has these die cut ephemera pieces, which I really like, so I added those on because I felt like one package of ephemera wasn't going to be enough. I purchased 2 thicker sets. I wasn't sure which one I would use. I know they won't go to waste. I'm going to use that copper colored one. And the kit itself came with that washi tape. I also added on the Autumn Splendor. This is like the Simple Basics paper kit, and you can see there are just 6 different colors that coordinate with that kit that I got with that paper pack, and I just really love them. I love the Swiss dot on the one side, and the other side has a really subtle like paper pattern. It's very pretty. So I'm adding a few things on, but what I started out with was I pulled out a new Canva bullet journal. These are Catherine Pooler's Canva journals, and I love them. I bet I've used 6 of them since she's come out with them. But this happened to be my favorite pattern paper that she's ever had, and she turned it into a Canva journal, and I love it. So I decided to create one of these for scrapbook layouts as I make them. And since I'm doing a whole album, and I want to keep track of how I cut apart the papers in case I ever want to do this in the future, and I did buy the other collections pack, so I might do something like that, a smaller album with this. So, I'm just kind of organizing myself, but I actually created a layout for each page, and since that has dots in it, I created little sketches for each piece of paper so I knew how I wanted to cut it before I even started. One of the things I learned from Vicki Boutin doing her album classes is those papers have those little title strips on top, and you can use those. Like, those are printed by some paper companies like Simple Stories and American Crafts, so that you can utilize that little strip of paper in other ways in your scrapbooks. So Vicki teaches you to, when you cut a paper apart, to paper clip all the pieces of that paper together and attach that title strip to the stack that you're cutting apart, and it helps keep you so organized. Now, another thing I pulled out, I had this album in my stash. The green doesn't exactly go with the album, but I already had this from Stampin' Up's Project Life, so I've had this for a while, and I wanted to use it. I'm trying to use things in my stash. What I didn't have inserts, but like I don't know, within the last month or so, scrapbook.com had a huge sale on these snap pocket pages. Like, it was tremendous. So I bought a bunch of them because I really am making a lot of albums suddenly. So I'm going to use a few pages from each of these. I'll probably use like 10 or 11 altogether. So this is my completed album, and I decorated the cover, I decorated the inside. That is all I have left from all that stuff I showed you. That is all I had left. And none of this is going to go to waste. Like, I have enough of those stickers left to actually make a great birthday sentiment. And that's it on the papers. I was pretty proud of myself. I really utilized every smidgen. I did have to supplement a few extra stickers because I didn't feel like what I had purchased had enough. It didn't have any like label stickers, and it didn't have any I don't know, sentiment type stickers. So I pulled out from my stash. I had this Great Escape, this simple vintage Great Escape set from Simple Stories, and the colors worked with these papers. So I was pretty happy, but you can see I used quite a few things. That was brand new, and I used quite a few things in this. I just felt like it needed more of that kind of stuff. I like to put, that kind of stuff on my pages. Now, I've decorated this and done all of this without putting any photos in yet. I have a ton of fall photos, and this is my traveler's notebook that I made previously. You can tell this is my favorite, one of my favorite sentiments. I'm so glad we live in a world where there are Octobers, because I've used it like 3 times there. But I love it, and I love that little traveler's notebook, and I'm very excited to be using that now that September is here, and I finally have, I did that in August. So I decorated the inside of my cover with a pocket. I created a pocket, and I have 2 pullouts there. And I used a few of the snap pocket insert pages and created some full-size pages. So you can see this one here. When I cut the papers apart, I really tried hard to preserve the art because I loved the art in this paper stack. It just called to me. It sang to my soul. So I created some full-size pages, and then I created some partial pages like that little pocket page with a pull-out, and I added some ephemera, and I don't know if I'll do anything on that page with the pumpkin because I love it, but I could journal on that page if I wanted to. And, here are a couple pages. I created a little, I'm not sure if I'll actually attach that down, but I did put a pop dot on the back, but I didn't take the paper off so that I can slip it out and journal on it. And then I've got a double fold out there. I just loved that piece of paper. Like, I loved that piece of paper. And the other part of that paper is the inside pocket of that front cover. Now, I did, at the end when I was trying to use up all the papers, put like those mats coordinate, but they aren't all of the same paper. I wish I'd purchased 2 packages of that solid paper or that plain basic kit so that I could have had more mats in here. I didn't have enough of that. So I've created some fun little partial pages. I've done a lot of flip pages. This is very inspired by things I've learned from Vicki Boutin in Lael by Mail, Lael Concar. So, I've created little pockets. I've created a lot of doors and flip things. This particular style I learned from Lael Concar. She does Lael by Mail with all the Traveler's Journal. I just discovered her, and I love her. And, I tried to put the pages together, and you can see I've done a lot of pockets with those cut aparts. That's one thing I learned from Vicki Boutin. I always wondered, what am I supposed to do with this sheet of paper with all these weird little things on it? Well, you're supposed to cut them apart and use them for things like flip pages in your scrapbook album, or pockets, or, all kinds of things. But you can see all of the great ephemera that I have there. Like, that ephemera is beautiful. I love the little tags. I love the titles. Now, that particular piece of paper, by the way, is actually one of Vicki Boutin's 6x8 foundations paper pads. It's the pre-made paper pads, I felt like I needed more pages. So I pulled out, I don't remember whether I used 4 or 6 of her pages, but I picked the ones that coordinated with the colors in the album. And I know this is a very busy album, and you may be thinking, wow, this is really a lot, but I really love this. This is really very me. It's very busy. It's all the colors I love, all those jewel tones. And I loved this paper so much that I wanted to preserve that. So I made it a double pull-out thing, and I put a little pocket with some, tags in it I can pull out, and I've got some different size pocket pages in there. So now that I know how to print with my with the app on my phone, and I'm now actually using my Canon selfie in more ways than just printing 4x6 pictures, I know I can do so much more with it. So here's a page with 4 little pockets, and I've got a little pull out on each one, and I can put 2x2 inch pictures there, so I'm pretty excited about that. And I've got lots of things where I can tuck pictures in, and journaling. I could tuck tickets from events if we ever get to go to any again ever. But I've got lots of things, lots of places I can tuck memorabilia from the things that we've done and the things that we do. I've got boxes full of stuff that I just have not had time. Being a full-time working mother, taking care of a house and family, and doing your job, it's hard to get all that done. And now I have time, so I'm going to do all that. You can see I've got little journaling pieces. I just love that paper is so gorgeous. I don't know what I'm going to do on it yet, but I will add more photo journal pages, probably in like a cream or a craft color. Now in each one of these pocket pages, I tried to add a little something. So I've got couple little file things there with the sentiments inside, and I wish I'd had, like I said, I wish I'd had more paper to make mats. That's the only thing. That's another Vicki Boutin Foundation pre-made mixed media page, which I thought coordinated beautifully with this paper. And I have lots of room to put photos. I have so much room to put photos here and do journaling and put things that I've saved. And I loved this paper, and I tried to really preserve it. And so when you open the album, you can see I have lots of places to put photos, lots of places to put journaling or whatever else I have. And I'm just really excited about this. Is the very first interactive album I've ever designed and created on my own. So I've taken 2 of Vicki Boutin's classes. I've done a lot of, actually 2 of her album classes, 2 layout classes with her. I took a class with Lael Kankar. Excuse me. But I just love the way these things came together. Now these were the final pages, so I was like sort of trying to use things up by this point. But you can see I've got lots of full spreads for big photos. I've got lots of places for small photos. I put another pocket on the back with 2 pull-out tags, and I feel really pleased about it, about how that came out. And I have done more to the cover because I felt like that piece felt really crooked. So I did add another little something to the cover so that I felt like it looked more balanced. But I love these albums because they have so many, it's so interesting to look at. It's got such a variety of stuff in it. And this is the sticker pad, I don't remember if I showed you this or not, that I used to supplement, and you can see different places that I've used it, but it worked beautifully. It definitely coordinated with this particular paper pack. So just, I'm so proud of it. I just keep flipping through it. I've got different size pages in there. I've got some short little mini pages. I've got full size pages. it's just super fun and it's very interactive. So somebody looking at this will have a lot of interesting things to look at, even without pictures in it. So here you can see the page maps that I created for myself. Before I even started cutting, I was really trying to take advantage of the art in here, and you can see the pages that I've preserved, and like I love that little pocket page. That paper just was so beautiful. So I've tried to really take advantage of all the beautiful art on these papers and use it in a way where it actually showcases. So in the end, I ended up with this traveler's notebook that I'm going to use as a gratitude journal throughout the fall, and I ended up with a fun interactive album that I'm really excited about. And it's the first time I've ever purchased an entire scrapbook collection like this, and the first time I've ever designed and created my own interactive album from start to finish. It's not perfect by any means. I know what kinds of things I would do differently, like purchasing more of the plain papers and maybe even more of the ephemera packs, believe it or not, and definitely more sentiments and labels and things like that. But I had a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you enjoyed looking at it. So thank you so much for watching. Stop on my blog at stampingimperfection.com, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. And make sure you subscribe to my channel while you're here and click that bell to get notifications every time I upload a new video.